I remember when I was 11 or 12 years old, I got my first ever PC. It had like 2 GB of RAM, no graphics card, a platinum dual core processor, but I don't really care. Do you guys remember an E icon? It was sitting at the bottom of the taskbar. Almost everyone started their internet journey from there. When I double clicked it and I waited and waited, a little more, and a page loaded. Half broken, a pop-up jumped out of nowhere, then another, a toolbar appeared that I definitely did not ask for. The fan kicked in like a helicopter preparing for takeoff. That was my internet. That was a lot of people's internet. That little blue E was called Internet Explorer. And at the time, almost every single person on the earth who went online went through it. 95% of the entire browser market. That is not just popular, that is owning the whole game. And then they lost it, all of it, in less than 10 years. They just stopped trying, and the world moved on without them. This is the story of how Internet Explorer went from being on every computer on the earth to becoming the punchline of every tech joke ever made. And trust me, the reason why is something nobody talks about enough. Hello guys, my name is Prat, and in this video we are going to see all the history of Internet Explorer, how it started, how everything went through, and by the end of this video we'll get to know where the heck did it went. Why don't we see on the computer? Well, there are obvious reasons. We are going to look everything into it. Stay with me, let's get started. First, okay, hear me out. Internet Explorer was actually good once. It's 1995. The internet is brand new for most people. Netscape Navigator is the only real browser around. The Bill Gates writes an internal memo called Internet Tidal Wave, basically saying, guys, we missed this whole internet thing. We need to catch up right now. So Microsoft builds Internet Explorer, and it keeps getting better, fast. By Internet Explorer 5 and 6 in the early 2000s, honestly the best browser available. In 2001, Internet Explorer 6 launched with over 95% of the browser market. 95%? Out of every 100 people online, 95 were using your product. But before we talk about how they threw all that away, we need to talk about how they got there, because it wasn't pretty. Microsoft didn't just compete with Netscape, they went to war. They bundled Internet Explorer directly into Windows for free. Netscape charged money. Game over right there. Then they went to PC makers and basically said, want to keep selling Windows, make Internet Explorer the default. Netscape goes in the corner. This was so aggressive that the US government sued Microsoft in 1998. A judge actually ordered Microsoft to split into two separate companies. Microsoft stayed together and Netscape completely crushed. By 2002, Netscape was basically gone. Internet Explorer had won. And then, because they won, they stopped trying. After hitting 95%, Microsoft looked around, said, yep, we won, and went to sleep. Between 2001 and 2006, that's 5 years, Internet Explorer got almost no real updates. 5 years, doing nothing. The Internet Explorer team was shrunk. People moved to other products. The attitude was, we won. The browser is done. What else is there? Meanwhile, the web kept moving and the Internet Explorer just didn't. Internet Explorer 6 has so many bugs that developers had to write special broken codes just to make website works in it. There's a name for it, Internet Explorer hacks. Say those two words to any developer from that era and watch the pain in their eyes. Imagine building a house but one of your tool is broken. Instead of fixing it, you design the whole house around the broken tool.
Who needs right angles anyway?
That's what developers did for years, and users were dealing with pop-up ads flying open constantly, viruses sneaking through security holes, and toolbars? So many toolbars. The Yahoo toolbar, the Ask Jeeves toolbar, some random toolbar you definitely didn't install, all eating your screen space. This was the era when your parents' computer had 47 toolbars and ran at the speed of a sleepy turtle. Who got blamed? Usually your parents, but really, it was Internet Explorer's fault. Every good story needs a hero. In 2004, the hero showed up, Mozilla Firefox. And it came from plot twist, the ashes of Netscape. After Netscape got destroyed, they basically said, we can't beat them, here's our code, someone else try. A group of developers took it, built something new, and Firefox 1.0 launched in November 2004. People loved it. Tabs instead of 10 separate windows, a built-in pop-up blocker, faster, cleaner, none of Internet Explorer's mess. People weren't just switching. They were telling everyone they knew. There were full-page newspaper ads paid for by fans donating just to celebrate Firefox 1.0. Can you imagine caring that much about a browser? That's how bad Internet Explorer was. Firefox grabbed 10% of the market within a year. Microsoft woke up a little, shipped Internet Explorer 7 in 2006, added tabs and a pop-up blocker, basically copied Firefox. But then, September 2, 2008, Google Chrome launched. And nothing was ever the same. Chrome was fast, like embarrassingly fast. Google built a brand new engine just for it, and it made every other browser feel like a sleepy old bus. It updated automatically in the background. Clean design, no clutter. And it was made by Google, the company that already owned search, email, and maps. They could push Chrome to billions of people through their own products. Within 4 years, Chrome was number one. Internet Explorer went from 95% in 2003 to under 20% by 2012. By 2010, something had shifted. Internet Explorer wasn't just a bad browser anymore. It was a cultural joke. Internet Explorer had become the universal symbol for slow, for outdated, for your grandparents' computer. The only thing people used Internet Explorer was for downloading Firefox or Chrome. That's it. That was its entire purpose. I remember downloading Chrome from the Internet Explorer when I got to know about it. Microsoft did try to fix things. Internet Explorer 9 in 2011 was actually a big improvement. Faster, cleaner, better. The tech reviewers were genuinely surprised. Some called it the best Internet Explorer ever. But here's the problem. Best Internet Explorer ever in 2011 still wasn't as good as Chrome. It's like a restaurant with terrible food for 10 years suddenly hiring a good chef. Most people had already found somewhere better and weren't coming back. The name Internet Explorer had become too broken to fix. So in 2015, Microsoft launched Microsoft Edge. Brand new browser, brand new name, brand new logo, a new blue E, which looked almost exactly like the old blue E. They traded one blue E for slightly different blue E. Incredible. Edge was faster than Internet Explorer but still slower than Chrome. Extensions barely worked. Then in 2019 came the moment that said everything. Microsoft rebuilt Edge using Chromium, the same engine that powered Google Chrome. Microsoft used Google's engine to build their own browser. The company once that had 95% of the entire internet, that destroyed Netscape, that fought the US government to stay together, ended up using their biggest competitor's engine to survive. If that's not a complete defeat, I don't know what it is. On June 15, 2022, after 27 years, Microsoft officially shut down Internet Explorer. That's the dead end. The internet celebrated. Developers who'd spent years fighting Internet Explorer bugs finally got closure. Twitter had a party, though Japan was sad. Internet Explorer had been used by so many government and business systems there that local news covered it like a real event. There were actually goodbye ceremonies for Internet Explorer in Japan. Somehow both the funniest and most touching thing in this whole story. So who actually killed Internet Explorer? Microsoft killed it first. When you have 95% of the market and stop trying for 5 years, you're digging your own grave. Firefox showed people there was something better. Once people knew a better option existed, the doors was open. Chrome walked through the door and won. Speed, simplicity, and Google's reach. Internet Explorer just couldn't match it. The memes finished it off. Once your product becomes a joke, no update can fix that. But honestly, the real cause of the death was pride. Microsoft thought winning once meant winning forever. They thought people would just keep using whatever came on their computer. They forget something simple. People always have a choice. When you stop caring about them, they find someone who does. That's not really a lesson about a browser, it's a lesson about everything. Internet Explorer won a war, dominated the world, got lazy, became a meme, died, and now lives on forever as the joke we'll all still be making in 2040. Rest easy, Internet Explorer. You introduced billions of people to the internet, including me myself. You were just too stubborn to keep up with it. Yeah, you was, man. My question for you, and I genuinely want to know this, what is your first Internet Explorer memory? The loading screen, the toolbars, a crash at the worst possible moment? Drop it in the comments. Hit subscribe if you enjoyed this and share it with someone who still uses Internet Explorer. Wait, those people don't have internet fast enough to watch YouTube. See you in the next one. Goodbye.